Going on, everybody? Momo Unchained once again. If you guys are wondering why I'm usually in a fucking car, well, I barely started making these videos, so I'm always in my car so far, but I have a long commute a couple days a week, and so I just sit in traffic and I record my little rants on life, and that's when I'll express some of my thoughts to create some of my content. What I want to talk about today is the box or the boxes that society wants you in, that society uses to control you. See, society wants you in a box. Society wants you to play your role in a script that they wrote. They want you to be an actor in their play. The basic script is this. You go to school or you join the military. You get married, have a couple kids, you buy a house. You go into debt to pay for all these things. They want you in a box. They want you to identify as Democrat or Republican. That's a box. They want you to go into debt, making payments to drive your little box on wheels to work. I'm in a box right now. Shit, I wake up in the morning and I get in my box, and then I drive on the freeway next to 1,000 other boxes, and then I sit in my cubicle, which is a box, inside the high-rise building I work in, which is another fucking box. And that is life for many people in this country. And then, people want to... Sometimes we put ourselves in a box when we say we're a Christian, or we're a Muslim, or we're a Democrat, or we're a Republican. Those are boxes that society wants you to be put in because it makes you easier to control and manipulate. See, the elites, the oligarchy that runs this country, the rich white guys behind the scenes, they use divide and conquer. They don't like when the middle class is on the same page, which is why you have this fucking Democrat and Republican shit to where everyone thinks, oh yeah, it's either the Democrat or the Republican. That false dichotomy itself is a box. It's the illusion of choice. But in reality, the oligarchy that runs this country is the one who tells you who to vote for, whether it's Democrat or Republican. Notice that you only choose after it's only down to two candidates. But the people in power chose both of them. I'm not even sure if they care who wins at that point. Because it doesn't matter who's in power. What they want done is going to happen. Obama or Romney, you got ignorant people on both sides supporting both, but no matter who gets elected, the policies that matter, or at least the policies that matter to the elite, are going to get passed no matter what, because they're pulling the strings. Obama is a puppet. Romney is a puppet. We're all puppets because we're fucking going along with this shit. And then they use the box, which is the TV, to tell you what to think, They use a box to put your mind in a box. And they got the whole world wrapped up in a fucking box. Like, these motherfuckers control everything, You gotta start becoming a skeptic in today's world, or you're just gonna be going along with someone else's script. You're gonna be right where they want you to be, which is they want you to be down. They want to keep you down. The oligarchy wants to keep you down because if you start waking up, then other people start waking up. Then all of a sudden they have a problem because people know what the fuck is going on. Which is why the elite will always be waging war on the middle class, because the lower class, or the poorest working classes and the people in poverty, they don't have the intelligence, or not necessarily the intelligence, but the knowledge or the means to challenge anyone's power. The upper class is not a problem because they are the upper class. They're already right where they want you to be. Or I'm sorry, they're already right where they want to be. What they need to do now is keep everyone where they're currently at, because they want the status quo to remain, or they want to increase in power, which is why in the last several decades, since the 1950s, you've seen the tunneling of wealth into the upper class, to where now the fucking 1% owns 90% of all the wealth, or whatever the fucking number is, which is insanely high. And they also say that the gap is increasing between the upper class and everyone else. They say the middle class is shrinking. So what does that tell you? It tells you that they're winning. They're fucking winning. They're consolidating more wealth, more power, more resources. And there's not just one oligarchy, these groups work together to keep shit the same. Which is why you have the fucking, the Bush family, the Cheney family, you got the Rockefellers and the Rothschilds of the world. They might not all have the same exact agenda, but one agenda is the same between all elites in every country. One agenda is the same between every organization that holds power, and that agenda is to hold on to power, to keep their power, and that means to maintain the status quo, or to make things better for themselves and worse for the people beneath them, unless it of course conflicts with them maintaining power. I mean, once you start understanding the nature of power, the shit seems very real, which is why you also have the revolving door of, the politicians and the business people, which is why, Obama got friends in Goldman Sachs, and, all the people that go to Harvard are all old money, and all the different families in power. I mean, we're pretty much living in it's an oligarchy, but it's based on a monarchy system, to where you have the noble class, which is born into power. Back in the day, you were either born a noble or you weren't, and that was it. And back then they didn't even question that shit. If you were a peasant, you were a peasant, or if you were the guy that made swords, you were slightly above a peasant, but you weren't a fucking noble. Everyone knew their place. Now with capitalism, things are changing slightly, but really it's just the evolution of the monarchy, to where you have people born into money, power, and influence, and they do everything to keep it within their circle and within their family. Which is why if you look at the bloodlines of all previous presidents, almost every single president, including Obama, is distantly related to each other. Ain't that some shit? You think that's a fucking accident? I mean, Obama and Bush are distant cousins. This shit stays in these fucking ancient ass bloodlines that came over from Europe, and it's still there to this very fucking day. Talking about, we got a black African president. Fuck that. That motherfucker's related. Actually, President Barack Obama, if you look this shit up, is related to more former presidents than George Bush. To more, through his mother. And people want to talk about, we got a black man in power. He's in power because the elites that run the fucking world want him in power. He's there because they want him there. He's not there because he fucking overcame some shit, or because he fucking is challenging shit. He's not challenging a goddamn thing. Which goes back to the main point. The nature of power is to do its best to maintain that power, or to increase it. Malcolm X has a quote that I'm paraphrasing it, but Malcolm X said, Power can never take a step back or decrease. It can only, unless challenged by a greater power. And that's totally true. So back to what I was talking about in the beginning of the video. The powers that be want us all in a box because they're pulling the strings. They control us. Some people aren't even aware that they're in a box. Right now I'm in a box, but I'm working to get myself out of that box. The corporate slavery and all that, consumer lifestyle and shit. I'm working to get myself out of that box, but shit, it's what I'm stuck with for now because that's life. But eventually I will not be in that box. Not that specific one at least. But some people aren't even aware that they're in a box. Those are the people that need to fucking wake up. A lot of you motherfuckers out there are smart, and you know that shit ain't right, and what the fuck the media tells you is not really what's true. There's an agenda. When you watch the TV and the mainstream media, and you go on the internet and read news from these websites, you're going through social conditioning. When you watch a movie, social conditioning. When you watch TV shows, social conditioning. All the media you consume, almost all of it has an agenda. I mean, the video I'm making right now has an agenda, and that agenda is to wake you up to what the fuck is going on. Because they're trying to put all of us in a box so we're easy to control and so that they can keep power and doing what the fuck they want to do. Which, some people say, what's the point if they control everything, Or, if I'm fine, fuck it, If you are fine, then I guess that's how you feel. Some people don't like the way things are, and they're trying to change shit. Damn, I got distracted. The finance girl just walked by. Alright, anyways, I got distracted, so I'm going to end this video, and I'll talk to you guys later. Momo Unchained out.